The Canucks are so fun, and the big Leaf win over the Canucks with Frankie Corrado right at the center of it reminded me why it was so fun to pick on Canucks fans. Because God love you people, but not all of you take a joke very well.
Here's what I've noticed about Canucks fans. They're exactly like the Canucks organization and players. They get steamed really easily. That's like a tea kettle you don't even need to plug in. Well, crazy.
So, I'm not wearing my glasses. Are you Adam Wilde or Frankie Corrado? Because I believe that's what
Do you have the quotes in front of you right now?
I do not.
Well, Steve, as a guy who I did give you the heads up a couple hours ago.
You certainly did.
That we were going to do this.
Am I going to take Jesse's laptop? You bet I am.
This is...
What?
Remember?
Why don't you have them up? Do you have them up?
Because you're the one who brought the story to the show.
When am I the one who reads the quotes? You're always the one who reads the quotes, and I go, oh,
I am
my
the one who
goodness,
quotes.
and I react to them.
I am the one who quotes.
I am the one who knocks.
Remember, Jesse, when you were going to have that debate with Steve, and I forget what it was about, and Steve didn't...
About the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, yeah.
And
What a piece of crap.
Steve was like, yeah, I was doing research in the car downstairs because I forgot.
I remember that.
Steve, you know they talk about stream of consciousness. That's all Steve is. Steve is constant stream of consciousness.
When did you send these quotes?
You sent the quotes.
Oh,
This
you want me to
weekend.
scroll all the way up to those?
Why did you just Google them?
No, here they are.
This is why Steve couldn't be producer Jesse.
Jesus. Okay, this comes from our friends at the Province in Vancouver.
Which is funny. This was not reported widely in Toronto, and it should have been.
No, this was one of those. We talked about the Montreal Canadiens equivalent of this, which was stuff gets broken in French, and we go, why wasn't that reported that much? We're dying for a positive Leafs angle. You know what it was? We've been dying for a positive Leafs angle for so long, and we got two that game, but one was much more defined. Brendan Leipzig scored his first NHL goal.
Which was awesome.
And it was awesome, and his parents were there. I wrote an article about it.
It made, I was watching ESPN in the States, and it made like their top 10. And hockey, believe me, is a very, very, very fourth sport
Down,
there.
fourth,
but they were like,
fifth,
look at
ninth.
this, blah, blah, blah. And like, they showed his parents. It was amazing.
Fantastic moment. So the whole controversy, friction angle maybe didn't get played as much. But our friends of the Province wrote a great deal about that game, and it was a bad game from their perspective, obviously. And all the Frankie Corrado stuff, spit hot fire. It was awesome.
So what do you say?
If you look at my whole time here, and he's referring to Vancouver, coming in and playing the 2013 playoffs, injuries made that happen, but I earned that chance. In 2014, another coaching change and another fresh start. That was another year where maybe I was a little slow out of the gate. But I do really well in the American League and get called up a bunch of times and not play, which was really frustrating. Then...
How Tortorella.
Oh, yes. Then I have a great playoffs with Utica. Do what you're told. Have a good playoff run. It will be a good experience. Battle through injuries. Freeze your bones. What? Play through separated shoulders. What? Finish playing June 15th. Come to training camp, and all of a sudden, you're not ready. It was really frustrating. That's the way I see it. Now, I'll just keep reading what the Province writer said. Now, when he was done, we shared one of those, oh shit, this changes everything looks you get sometimes. In his answer, there was a revelation that's a bit of a game changer in the way that the story has been told to this point, and they're absolutely right. And that would be the comment, separated shoulder, which I didn't know. I don't remember.
Nobody reported
that. Maybe they did and I missed it, but I don't think so. To this point, there you go. To this point, no one knew Corrado suffered a separated shoulder during the, and I got to go to the next one, playoffs. It happened in the first round. It was game 3 against Chicago. At home, I separated my shoulder. I played the rest of the playoffs with it.
Wow.
Ow. And guys do that in the playoffs all the freaking time. And one thing I learned from covering the minors a little bit, I didn't do very much of it. There are a lot of injuries and like pretty bad ones that generally don't really get reported. One I can remember in particular was I think it was Jay Rosehill. He like just did something haggard to his thumb in a fight, And like that was back when the Marlies weren't selling all that good. And the scream he let out echoed in Ricoh Coliseum. Rah! And supposedly, I wasn't actually there for this, you could actually hear from outside the dressing room the screams because they were putting his thumb back where thumbs go. Yeah.
So he popped it out. Jeez.
Yes. It's one of those things that take a long time to heal. Throughout the summer, especially when you have a late summer like that, there wasn't much I could do. I had to let it heal. When it got time where I could really push it, it was basically training camp. Corrado missed 5 games during the playoffs. Missing those games was not because of the separated shoulder. In fact, in round 2, Corrado broke his hand. The 5 games he had missed were spent icing it. So he played through a broken hand and a separated shoulder and was given up on by a team who concluded that he had a poor training camp even though he couldn't work out in the summer. That's some story, and it changes the complexion of what went down. It also was a reason Corrado didn't play much with the Leafs when he arrived. I had no idea.
No, they didn't talk about it here either.
Well, they sort of did, but the narrative was off. Because there were a couple times it was said, we have a plan for him, we just want him to keep getting stronger. We want him to keep getting stronger. And every time I heard that, I was like, he's out of shape. Like, maybe that's why the Canucks cut him. He's out of shape. Maybe he didn't train hard enough in the off season, which is technically true. But there's obviously a very good reason.
I wonder if what it doesn't specify, I don't think, is did he break the hand of the same shoulder? Like, can you imagine that was the same arm? Can you imagine how weak that would be? Or if it wasn't, let's say he separates one shoulder and breaks the hand on the other. You can't lift any weights. You can't lift one arm. You can't do anything.
It sucks.
And if you've ever, like my dad had a separated shoulder for years, and if you have one, it's very easy to redo it. So let's say you go in and you rehab it, which a lot of people do. They don't want to have the surgery. Okay? You're looking at 6 weeks at least before that thing's back to normal-ish.
Oh, I screwed up my shoulder like 2 months ago. It feels like it did the day after.
Totally. And that's full-on rehab. If you have the surgery, it's about, as far as I know, I think it's 2 months or more. And you're in incredible pain both ways. Like, I know that somebody who got their shoulder separated, I remember my dad hanging his shoulder in the living room and just having to swing it around, like just in a circle and just wincing, just in so much pain.
Like what Kevin Love in the playoffs with the Cavaliers?
Yeah. Yeah. Like just in
incredible
pain. So anybody that has a separated shoulder, just because I've seen it, I feel bad for. Because I think people dismiss it as whatever. You can pop it back in and you'll be fine. It's not that way. It doesn't feel that way at all.
If I recall correctly, in 2002, Gary Roberts played with 2. Both his shoulders were separated.
Yeah, but Gary Roberts isn't human. This is a man who also, because of nerve damage, couldn't lift his hand over his head and somehow came back and had a very productive 10 years in the NHL. Unbelievable.
Do you want me to keep going with that?
Yeah, please.
There was, it was just fantastic work by the province.
Gold mine.
Oh, yeah. We should definitely post a link to it on account of it sounds like I'm reading the thing in its entirety. It was a very long post, and they often write long ones too. Referring to Toronto, they had a picture of when they wanted me to play. Knowing that there was a group who had a plan for me made things easier. They talked to me, let me know. Keep getting stronger, they said. The time off, I got a lot of time to work out, and that helped me because I missed time in the summer. Yes, he's bitter. Would you be? And then, sorry, they embedded a tweet. I'm just getting caught up here. You can't deny the Canucks sure seem to be after Corrado. And then someone tweeted, this is Brown to Bure. It's not a coincidence that all these guys are going after him. He was a whiner when he was here, and he still is. Love it, Burr. I guess referring to Alex Burrows. Yeah, that's the kind of player you want to cheer for, Alex frickin' Burrows.
Yeah.
And Corrado took his shot after the game. Absolutely. That's a group of players that gets frustrated easily, and people have seen that throughout the years. We knew that in this room and really wanted to get after them, and obviously we saw how frustrated they got. That's not even a shot from Frankie Corrado as much as it is a widely accepted truth. The Vancouver Canucks are a team you can
easily rattle.
Easily rattle. The Canucks should have waltzed away with the 2011 Stanley Cup. They should have. They let the Bruins get in their head. And I know it's in the past. Canucks fans are always like, that was half a decade ago. Let it go. Have you, darling? Yeah.